Hey guys, Gable from Ungraceful Toad here, and today I have another MegaHouse figure for you. This time it's another Naruto Girls figure, and as of time of recording, it's the most recent one released. This is Sakura, was released in December of last year. So as we've come to know, there's sort of a template to all the Naruto Girls boxes, so let's take a quick look. Big central window, and our sticker up top. Let's download a picture of the figure and the Naruto and MegaHouse logos down here. Either side we have a window, and slightly different artwork. On the back here we have some more imagery. Up top our window with our Sakura's name and our Naruto Girls here. And lastly, I like this little touch on the bottom, just that little extra effort, putting that picture in and that text in. So here she is, and to start, let's do what we usually do and take a look at the base. As standard, we have the Naruto logo there, the logo of a leaf, sort of engraved in the bottom here. It's kind of hard to see with the light, just about to see it there. And the Naruto Shippuden logo. We also have what has become standard for the Naruto Girls line, which is sort of floating legs with this. The pose as is taken is sort of very much capturing movement. Very similar to an artist base in that respect. So we are greeted by sort of similar colour palettes of pastel, soft colours with very gentle shading. And I think particularly because Sakura's design is obviously different shades of pink, but there's not a huge amount of contrast within that pink. It's very subtle, which is a nice look, but it's not as impactful as some of the other figures in the line. So obviously the way we can see this best sort of motion carried really well in this sculpt is on from the side. Obviously we can see out of the shirt and this thing tied around the waist and the movement in her hair. We're all capturing this very forward motion carried with the legs here. Legs got a pretty solid leg sculpt, as we don't usually see sort of the sculpting of the back and the knees. Usually it's just a smooth surface. And we've also got, although difficult to pick up due to the shading result, there is a knee joint sculpted there also. It's also easier to see on the other leg, the shape there. And as you can just about see there, we again have some toenail polish, this time obviously going with a pink. And as we take a quick look around, we can see, as with all MegaHouse figures I own, and I've ever owned and ever seen, there's absolutely no paint bleed, no poor application anywhere. It's absolutely clean and solid everywhere. Even on the zip down the jacket, there's no spill whatsoever. You can sculpt the belly button there. The faces again on these Naruto Girls lines are quite basic, very similar nose and just slightly different in the mouth sculpt, but as you can see there's painting within the mouth. There's two different shades of pink and the teeth are painted, and our standard sort of eye decals. And her forehead is pretty small considering the character, but we'll let that go as proportions go. I like the fact we have a few accessories on this figure. Obviously we have this standard kunai, sort of all the things strapped to a leg again, well painted and shaded there, but we have all these clips, these elbow pads, and also a sort of signature I'm not messing around gloves that came later on in the Naruto Shippuden arcs. There's also some nice subtle shading on the boots, which is really hard to pick up in this light. It looks black, but there is some sort of dark purple, dark blue to it, which may be better picked up under direct light like this, although it doesn't seem to be coming out too clearly. So as I've had minimal complaints with these figures so far, but there is a complaint with this figure that I'm going to come to later, which is something that has been talked about a lot online. So also on her head sculpt, together with how well this hair is sculpted with all the movement, her headband's done really well. There's some nice sort of weathering almost to the silver metal, and obviously the leaf symbol done very well. No spill from her hair to her headband, and you can just see her ears. There's actually quite a lot of detail captured within her ear there. And on the back we see her clan symbol. Taking a closer look up at the hair, you can see there is some very nice sort of shading from the bottom of the roots, which is darker, going up to the brighter at the top. So again, seamless painting, absolutely nothing wrong here. A nice sculpt, but also got some quality done on the bottom of her boots, not just a flat surface. And also on the back of the boots with these straps here. So the figure doesn't lack the detail or quality in the painting, but again, there is this one complaint which I'll be touching on later. So let's take a closer look at some sizes and some other figure comparisons. So she's standing at just about 9 inches tall, which is about 22.5 centimeters. Her widest point is actually base to base, which is about 3.5 inches, about 9 centimeters. And her depth, she doesn't seem to spill over the base at all. Maybe this back foot here is just going slightly over, so again, about 3.5 inches, 9 centimeters. So here she is on a detailing shelf by herself, and as you can see, she's actually quite large. I would say definitely at the 1/6 scale. Here she is next to 1/8 Johto Okujo, and here she is next to 1/6 Johto Okujo. So here she is with the rest of the Naruto Girls line, and as you can probably start to see what my complaint is, someone at the MegaHouse department decided they were going to make the third figure in this series taller than the rest in a different scale. It makes no sense for Sakura to be taller than Tsunade. It makes no sense for her to be taller than any of them. It's just kind of ruined the whole collection thing. Obviously, it's not hugely terrible, and you could create a dynamic with it where you can make it look like, but there just didn't seem to be a point to doing it. I know maybe they were given the option that they could create it at the same price for a taller figure, and they decided, well, it's better value for them. Maybe they could sell it for a bit more at a higher cost. But it's definitely an annoyance for collectors. But we'll find a way to make it work. I still think my favourite figure in the line so far is Tsunade, because although she has darker colours, there's a lot more sort of depth to her shading and her pose, especially with the jacket. The jacket's done really, really well. But that's nothing against Sakura at all. Her colours and her painting and her pose are all done really well. I'm really impressed mainly with both the motion of the sculpt, especially from this side-on view, and I also really, really appreciate the shading of the hair from the dark to the light. I think that's done incredibly well. So far this line's been really impressive. I don't know where they're going to go next. Some people are talking about an Ino, but I don't know if Ino is really a big enough character to go for it, but I'm all for them creating sort of minor, well not minor, but sort of side characters in the Naruto series. I'm all about picking up those side pieces, so I'm excited to see where they go next, if they continue the line, which I'm sure they will, because it seems that it's been hugely popular. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and maybe you've decided that this line is for you and you'll go pick it up. It's fairly affordable, and I think the figures, as everything from MegaHouse, are really high quality. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.